Hello YouTube, Brent Peeler here with you. Coming to you from Valencia. Here on the island of Negros Oriental, here smack dab in the middle of the Philippines. Thought I'd make this quick little video to talk to y'all about should you retire in Dumaguete? And that all depends, folks. Dumaguete, it's a great little city. I really, it's one of my favorite cities in the Philippines. But should you retire here? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're a single expat or a single guy coming over here looking to find love, or looking to find a girlfriend, or just wanting to meet somebody, well, I would say that Dumaguete is not the place to be, not the place to come, and I'll give you a few reasons why. Number one, there's no real nightlife in Dumaguete. So if you're wanting to come to a place where you can go meet somebody at the club at night or something, there's no clubs here, folks. It's weird to say, because this is a college town. I think there's at least 18 colleges here in Dumaguete. But there's no nightlife, folks. There's no clubs. There's no exotic bars, titty bars, if you will, or any really even beer joints that you're used to, like going to in the West, where you could go and maybe meet somebody. So that said, like I say, this is a college town, which means there's more money here than there is in other cities around the Philippines, and that's not a knock. That's just the fact. It's just so you hear about these young girls wanting expats and age gaps and all that. Well, I'm just going to be honest with you and tell you that these girls that can afford to go to college, they don't have any interest in you. They've got plenty of opportunities in front of them as it is, so they're not looking to cling on to old crusty foreigner. That's just the way it is, folks. Everybody jumps on opportunities, but not if you don't need the opportunity, you're not gonna jump on something that you don't need, if you know what I mean. So the dating scene is I'd say way below average here in Dumaguete. Most of your people, like on the dating sites or the dating apps or whatever, you can type in Dumaguete, but it's gonna pull up people 83 miles away. You know, and I know 83 miles away sounds like right down the road. Well, it's not. 83 miles away is probably Cebu City. It's a 5-hour bus and ferry ride. It's travel here in the Philippines is a lot harder than it is back in the States. There is no 70 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour. No, you take a bus, and you'll be lucky if you take a bus from here to Cebu City. You're lucky to get over 40 miles an hour for over 10 minutes during the whole trip there. So it's an aggravating trip. It's a long, drawn out hassle is what it is. It's about 4 lanes of cars and buses and motorcycles traveling down a 2-lane road. And if you get behind a slow one, well, you got to be pretty strategic about getting around a big old bus or something. Especially all these islands have perimeter roads, which means, going around the perimeter of the island. Of course, they've got some that go across country. I'm not saying that, but when you travel like from here to Cebu City, you go along the coast the whole way. So every curve and every nook and cranny along whatever island you're on, you're gonna take it, because it's a coastal road, and you get stuck in traffic, folks. You really hardly ever get to open up on a car or motorcycle, much less a bus. So yeah, most of the girls are not from Dumaguete. There are girls here. There are good girls here. There are pretty girls here, but I'm just saying overall that the selection is not what it is in other places. It's kind of like shopping at the Goodwill. If you want to ride the town bicycle, well, yeah, get on and go for a ride. But if you're looking for a sure enough, you know, a good girl or whatever, I'd say Dumaguete is not the spot to come looking for. If you run across one, I'd say you're pretty lucky. It's like a picked over garage sale. You know, there's several expats here with significant others. I'd say 90% of them probably didn't find them in Dumaguete. Dumaguete is more of a place where you bring them after you find them. Say you find them in Cebu City, bring them to Dumaguete, get them away from, you know, use that one island over theory. So you don't want to live on the same island as your girlfriend or wife's family, or you're liable to be, you know, you have to put up with a whole lot more if the family's right there handy, if you know what I mean, or you might be expected to help out more or whatever. So I would say use the at least one island over theory, and find you a girl at a different island. And Dumaguete's a great place to retire. I'm not saying it's not. It's one of my favorites. But if you're coming here to look for a girlfriend, the odds are against you. So yeah, and there's exceptions to the rules. There's definitely exceptions to the rules. But most of these girls aren't from Dumaguete that these people meet. They might have lived in Dumaguete when they met them, but they're not from here. Just like any big city or big town. Well, the province girls kind of come to Dumaguete to look for work or look for, you know, a husband or what have you. That a lot of that goes on. But a bunch of these girls aren't from Dumaguete. Like the girl I'm dating, she's from a town on the other side of the island, which is only 50 miles away. But that 50 miles is a 2-hour drive, and even though that sounds short compared to Cebu, which is probably 80 miles, it takes 5 hours, just a different road and a different. You don't have to take a ferry, and you don't have to do that. But it's a very small town. It's a small province. They just got their first 7-Eleven last month, so that tells you how big it is. There was no big chain stores at all in the town where she grew up. So, like I said, I'm not saying that you can't find it. I'm just saying that the odds are against you, and I think you would be better off, you know, starting out. And maybe you're in an LDR now, long distance relationship, you know, one of them over the phone, kind of bullshit relationships or whatever. To me, you're not in a relationship if you've not met them. If you've not met them, I don't care. And you're a fool if you're sending them money and you hadn't met them. But if you're here in Dumaguete, like I said, there's 18 colleges here. These girls got all the opportunity, or a lot more opportunity than a lot of the other Filipinas here in the Philippines. So they don't want your old crusty ass. They don't want my old crusty ass. That's just a fact of life. The ones in other cities, they don't want your old crusty ass either. You're just an opportunity, and hopefully that y'all will grow to love each other, and things will work out. And that's fine. That's just the way it is over here, folks. All relationships are transactional. This place is no different. You just got more to pick from over here. You really do. You got the odds are in your favor over here to find what you're looking for, no matter what that might be. And it's like an even playing field over here. You know, you hear that saying, you can live like a king for $1,500 a month. Well, bullshit. I don't know any kings living on $1,500 a month. I don't know any kings living in a 3-bedroom apartment. You know, what's a king? Yeah, maybe a king in the medieval days where they didn't have electricity. Yeah, you can live like a king over there. Don't let your ego boost your head or get your head so big that you think you're all that. Just because you can do what you want on $1,500 a month don't mean that you're living like a king. It just means that you're living a lot better than the rest of these people. But try not to try to put yourself on a high horse, because nobody's any better than anybody else just because you got a little bit more money to spend. It makes it nice. I'll agree with you. It makes it nice and you can come over here and live an awesome lifestyle for $1,500 a month. Not want for anything, folks. But living like a king, that's a little dramatic. I've used the term too. It's all over YouTube, so you kind of get used to saying that. But what king's living on $1,500 a month? You get what you pay for, folks. Even in the Philippines, you can spend as much, and you can spend the bare minimum over here. It's a great place to live. The women are great. Even the ones that don't want your crusty ass, they're great too. They just don't need the opportunities that you present, and God bless them. But I hope this video helps. It's not trying to be negative. I just think that if you're just starting out or just thinking about coming to the Philippines, and Dumaguete's on your radar, because there's lots of vloggers here, folks. There's lots of people spreading the word about Dumaguete, and have been for years since it come out in that magazine. But it's watered down, folks. It's really, and it's not even the real Philippine feel, which is good and bad. I'm not knocking it. I enjoy the perks of having all these expats here, because you got more restaurants that I like to eat at. You got more Western things that I'm used to, and you got more Filipinas and Filipinos speaking the language that I speak. So absolutely, I love the fact. I wish I could have my cake and eat it too. I wish there was all that and just me being the only expat here. No, I don't mean that, because you need to be able to conversate or talk to your own kind, because like I say, when you're not around, they're going to be speaking their own dialect. So keep that in mind. The Philippines is a great place, folks. I know that last video I made on Thailand and Philippines, a bunch of people, well, why are you in the Philippines if you like Thailand so much? I love the Philippines. Don't just because I say that one thing is better in Thailand, or 10 things is better in Thailand. I absolutely love the Philippines. And you're right, why don't you go to Thailand? Well, I prefer living in the Philippines and traveling the rest of it. These are my kind of people. Bunch of people can't stand the roosters, but that's my way of life, folks. I was raised on a farm in southwest Oklahoma. It's right up my alley. I love chickens. Cock-a-doodle-doo don't bother me at all. Bunch of people won't move into a house unless they see if the roosters are raising hell. It don't bother me none. At times it tells me it's time to get up and get around. So it don't bother me a bit. But are you living like a king if the roosters are raising hell at 3 or 4 in the morning? It's up to you. Happiness is what you make it, folks. It's can you be happy? And a lot of the problem is we as Westerners wasn't happy in the Western world, in the United States or wherever we come from, and we come over here thinking it's going to be a quick fix. Well, wherever you are, there you'll be, folks. There you'll be. And if you wasn't happy there, there's probably a good chance you won't be happy over here, especially if you try to bring that shit over here with you. So anyway, folks, thank y'all for watching. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. I've got over 1,300 subs now. Like I say, it's been one hell of a ride. Thank all y'all that's just jumped on board, and thank all y'all that have been with me for a long time. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is Brent's Tripping. Peace.